3 winters ago, Soviet forces conquered the German capital of Berlin. Now, with Hitler in exile, the Soviets' puppet regime rules from the Kronper. With the Soviet focus on the West, Japan has been free to continue their aggressive expansion, threatening our allies in the region. On the home front, men and women are working around the clock, producing guns, tanks, and supplies to aid the remaining free nations of Europe, while building our own forces to counter the ever-rising threat of war. Should the communists dominate Europe and Africa, and the Japanese in Asia and the Pacific, then the claws of tyranny will soon grasp for the light of American democracy. Our attempts to avoid war have proven futile. As the enemy continues to enslave the nations of the world, capturing more natural resources critical to the advancement of mankind, we must take action. The time for conflict is upon us. How long can the U.S. hope to avoid the cost of war on its shores?
In the greatest conflict in history, no nation is an island. Unite and fight back with hearts of iron together for victory. Now, nations of the British Commonwealth can rewrite history with 5 unique national focus trays for Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the British Raj. Stay loyal to the British Empire or gain sovereignty as an independent nation, allowing you to align with other powers or strike your own path. Explore new paths for all nations with technological research sharing and improved Lend-Lease, allowing allies to share information and resources in times of need. While a new autonomy system gives subject states degrees of independence from foreign masters. At a time when allies are desperately needed, will you fight the war alone or will you stay together for victory? Available now.
The middle powers of Europe are threatened on all sides. Fascism on one side, Bolshevism on the other. The eternal choice lies before you, death or dishonor. In this new country pack for Hearts of Iron 4, you can lead Hungary, Romania, Czechoslovakia, or Yugoslavia down unique national focus trees, carefully navigating the stormy waters of international politics. Cozy up to one of your powerful neighbors, or build a regional bulwark to stand strong against all comers. Nations lacking advanced weapons can now license equipment designs from more technologically advanced powers. Build foreign planes and tanks while you focus your nation's research on your own areas of strength. Recycle older equipment by converting it to new weapons instead of forcing it into retirement. With new musical selections and in-game art, the embers of war will be stirred into glorious flame. Which path will you choose in Hearts of Iron 4? Death or Dishonor? Available now!
The world is burning. War rages in the skies, on land, and on the seas. And the future is as yet unknown. The German generals may choose to defy their leader and restore the Kaiser. Japan might look north towards Russia for its resources, instead of striking against China. You must make hard choices. New national decisions allow you to guide your nation through the chaos of war. Put the right general in the right place, support him with command abilities and close air support, and ensure victory. Many factions squabble for the title of ruler of China. Nationalists, communists, and warlords are preparing for the final showdown with the deposed Emperor Puyi and his Japanese masters. only one can rule China. Will you answer the call in Heart of Iron 4? Waking the Tiger.
By early 1942, the British Empire had entered its 4th year of the war. The Civil War had drawn away American assistance, and political turmoil had cut Britain off from the vital Mexican oil fields. The governments of Europe were exiled in London. Of all British allies, only the Free French and Dutch remained. Weakened by years of defeats, and facing a surging Japanese threat to the Far East, the year began with an act of desperation, the Federation Proclamation, unifying the empire under one government. The Japanese declaration of war followed days later. On February 27, the combined Allied Far Eastern Fleet, centered around the new Dutch battle cruisers, sortied to meet the Japanese invasion force. The Battle of the Java Sea that followed would mark the turning point of the fortunes of the Imperial Federation.
France fell more easily than expected. Defeated but unbroken, the citizens sabotage our efforts to establish order in the cities. Our plans for the wonder weapons have fallen into the hands of the resistance. The V1 and possibly the V2 projects have been compromised. But these so-called heroes of the people will be captured. We have broken their codes. The spying will be demolished. All resistance will be crushed.
In 2016, Paradox released the ultimate grand strategy wargame. Over the years, the game has expanded, and tools of history has evolved.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen, you are about to embark upon the Great Crusade. You will bring about the destruction of the German war machine.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall never surrender. The new world, with all its power and might, steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of the old.
Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
It's peaceful up here, amongst the clouds. I remember why I joined the Luftwaffe in moments like this. But peace is fragile. Our objective is simple. Capture the Bospours, imperative to advancing the Eastern Front. All that stands in our way, Greece, Bulgaria, and Turkey. Formidable enemies, each of them. But our intel ensures us they are no match for the might of the Axis forces. But I worry, I must admit. Greece held off the invading forces from Italy. Bulgaria and Turkey were witness to our defeat. What resistance might we face if all three were to unite against us at the Bospours? I try to cherish peaceful moments like this, because all that lies ahead is war.
What use is a rifle without ammunition? And what use is ammunition in the hull of a sunken ship? A good general knows there is no strategy without logistics. For what use are 2,000 fit and well-trained soldiers if they're marching in the wrong direction? Over 5 years, millions of hours of gameplay have simulated every possible outcome of the Second World War. The tides have turned in all directions, and every capital in the world have seen a victory parade. But one thing remains consistent. Not one battle was ever won without the troops, the equipment, and the support being at the right place at the right time. On D-Day this year, we want to thank our players for 5 years of excellence. Looking ahead to future victories.
I share the latest news from the front line. The Red Army have been victorious in their pursuit of glory. The enemy has faltered at every turn, and now they run in fear of our unstoppable might. Armored trains transport supplies to the front lines, where the USSR and its allies launch a formidable offensive. Soviet officers lead their men through the enemy's defenses. Our army does not falter nor step back, riding titans of steel and iron, crushing the enemy beneath them. In battle, the Soviets only know victory or death. In either, the heroes of the Red Army shall be rewarded with honor and glory.
He's talking about Mama and Papa.
Yes, child. Heroes of the Red Army.
When I grow up, I want to be just like them.
No, my child. They fight so that you will never have to.